Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Hunter. Today we'll be talking about the Assassin's Creed Unity game that's coming out this year? I don't know. Anyway, but I think we should start with the latest Assassin's Creed game, Assassin's Creed 4, which it supposedly happens before Assassin's Creed Unity does. Assassin's Creed 4 was a good game. It had some off mechanics. The combat system was strange in that there were some times where it was unresponsive. So when you tried to counter, your guy wouldn't move fast enough for the counter. I think that it could have been a little better on a whole, but it was fairly good for what it was. Also, I saw that they were making it so that you could have different types of weapons, such as spears, swords. You could have the axe, kind of like in Assassin's Creed 2, where if you could have different types of heavy weapons. They ended up getting rid of that in Assassin's Creed Revelations, I think, where you couldn't have the. No, it was in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Revelations, in which you could get the heavy weapon holster, so that you could keep the weapon with you until you use the throwing attack, which I liked a lot. I really did. I used it so much. Another thing I want to talk about is that in Assassin's Creed 3 and Assassin's Creed 4, they always made it that you can't parkour and have a rifle at the same time. Yet you always see the enemy AIs doing it, or at least climbing on stuff, and they still have their muskets. That's something that I think they need to fix, because it didn't make sense as to why they could do it, but you couldn't, even though you were a lot better at it than they were. They should also add that you can buy an optional musket holster that goes on your back, such as they did with the heavy weapons holster in the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. That would make for better gameplay and maybe a little better experience for gameplay. As I've only seen gameplay demos of Assassin's Creed Unity, I don't see if they're going to do that. They might make it that using muskets might not be as big as it was in Assassin's Creed 4, because a musket had a much better range than any of the pistols, excluding the golden flintlocks, I think, which were the ones you got after you completed all the sea missions. Yeah, the sea missions, because if you finish all the assassin missions, you got the gun swords, I think. If I'm wrong, please tell me about this, because then I can, correct in my next discussion if we ever have one. Anyway, but the next thing I want to talk about is that the parkour mechanics of Assassin's Creed Unity seem to be a lot better, in which you can choose which direction you want to go in, which will be a lot useful, because we don't want to end up on the second floor when we're trying to go through the door, do we? Sometimes you do, but other times it's just annoying as heck. One thing that I see happening in Assassin's Creed Unity is that even though they've upgraded the combat mechanics, as soon as you figure them out, it's going to turn into another Assassin's Creed game, which it's the same combat as the rest of it, in which everything it repeats and repeats and repeats. If they find a way to fix that, then I will be happy, because while yes, I do like never getting killed, I don't like it when the AIs use the same tactics and don't attack you all at once, which is something that they need to fix, even though I know that they probably don't have advanced enough AIs. If they were able to get it to where they could all attack you at once and you could counter them, like say in Batman, where if you have multiple people, if you press the counter button, if you keep pressing the counter button, you'll be able to counter all of them. They had that somewhat in Assassin's Creed 3, but in Assassin's Creed 4, they rarely ever attacked you at once and you never really got the option to do that. What I would also like is that if they had a counter system where you could counter attack and while doing that attack pull out your gun and attack someone else, so that you're not stuck attacking one person at the same time and getting hit in the back by someone you can't counter because you're in the middle of an attack. That was another thing that bugged me, is that when someone else was attacking, if you were going through an animation, you wouldn't stop that animation to counter. Whereas in like another Batman again, if you hit someone and then you press the counter fast enough, you would counter them, then hit them away so that you could return to beating on the person you were already beating on. Another thing I hope for is that they add more options to your weapon systems. We've seen that you can have multiple weapons, such as your spear, again, and your axe. Well, I'm hoping that they'll allow you to have a lot more weapon systems where you can choose to have dual swords, or you could use your 6-shot pistol in your sword at once. So you could parry with the pistol and then hit with the sword and then turn around and fire, such as what someone very skilled would be able to do. It all depends on if they make it that depending on your skill level is how you can play the game. Like say you're a basic assassin and you really only know how to use a sword. But say you've been playing Assassin's Creed since the first one and you know the combat mechanics so well that you could use multiple weapons. Say you have like an axe and 2 swords. You start with the axe, and then when you get the chance you'll throw it, and then you'll take out your sword, you'll parry, you'll stick it into someone, and then you'll grab their sword, throw that one at another person, and you'll use your final sword to take out the last person attacking you. That fight sequence would only last 10 seconds, but it'd be a lot more interesting than parry, 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 attack, kill. If you agree with me, then, comment on the video below. If you want more discussions, just like and subscribe. Alright, that's all I have for today, so goodbye and good luck. Until next time, Hunter out.